Welcome to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm your host, Joy Taylor. On today's show, did the Steelers get robbed in their controversial loss to the Patriots? Plus, breaking down the wild finish to the Cowboys' victory against the Raiders. And does Aaron Rodgers deserve to be ripped for his performance against the Panthers? Skip, Shannon, let's get to it. Let's get it started with the controversy in Pittsburgh. The Steelers were down by 3 with under 30 seconds left in the fourth when Ben Roethlisberger hit Jesse James for the apparent game-winning touchdown. The refs then reviewed the play and overturned the call because the ball hit the ground as James reached across the goal line. The referee said, quote, "To have a completed pass, a receiver must survive going to the ground." 2 plays later, Roethlisberger faked a spike and threw over the middle to Eli Rodgers, but the pass was deflected up in the air and intercepted by New England. Both teams are now 11-3, but the Patriots have the clear edge for home field advantage. After the game, Ben seemed to point the finger on the interception. Let's take a listen.
It wasn't a fake spike. I was yelling clock it because I felt like that was the thing to do, was clock it and get yourself one play. And it came from the sideline, don't clock it, don't clock it. Well, at that time, I'm already got everyone thinks it's clock, so you don't have time to try and get everyone lined up. So it's I tried to. Eli saw that, he kind of ran a quick slant in there, and at that time you just got to try and make a play, and probably didn't make a good enough throw.
To be real clear on that, is that Randy or Todd in your ear saying go for it instead of clock it?
Yes.
Which one?
Todd. Now once again, that's coming from the head guy. Someone's telling them, but they. Maybe they wanted a field goal. Maybe they wanted to tie it. I don't know, and so maybe that's on me. Maybe I should have just clocked it, whatever it is. I don't know. So we're not going to look back and second guess anything or anybody. We lost the game, and I threw a pick in the end zone at the end of the game to lose it.
So, Shannon, we'll get to Ben calling out the coaches in a second.
Yes.
But he's not going to second guess, but go ahead.
But first, do you have a problem with the ruling on the Jesse James play?
Absolutely not. The rule clearly states if a receiver catches the football, goes to the ground, he must maintain possession of the ball throughout the entirety of the catch. Basically, this in a nutshell, it's not the eye, it looks like a catch. The rule clearly states, catch the football, go to the ground, hand the ball to the official. This is the old Calvin Johnson rule, because Calvin Johnson in 2010, he was the very first, Skip, against the Chicago Bears, Lovie Smith challenge. I thought Calvin Johnson was a catch, Skip, because he caught the ball and it looks like he was trying to brace to get up off the ground using the ball.
Yep.
The ball popped out, Lovie Smith challenge, incomplete. Dez Bryant, 2014, incomplete. If a receiver catches the football, he goes to the ground, he must maintain possession of the football throughout the entirety. Jesse James was not a runner. He made no attempt to run. He caught the ball, he turned, he tried to stick it over the goal line. It was raining, it had stopped at that point in time, but the ball is extremely slick. He tried to place it over the goal line, it popped out, it's incomplete. I don't really know what the discussion is. If you want to be mad at someone, be mad at Jesse James, because he could have easily just caught the ball and rolled into the end zone. But no, he did that. It's incomplete. Now, as you mentioned, we're going to talk about what transpired after that later. But, Skip, there's no ambiguity about the rule. This wasn't a catch yesterday. It wasn't a catch with Daz. And if you rule Calvin Johnson a catch, a non-catch, everything that comes after 2010 under this umbrella is not a catch.
Okay. Let me get this off my chest first. Even though I'm a big Tom Brady fan, as you well know, and even though Tom Brady was again all-time clutch yesterday and again delivered yet another MVP performance at age 40, I thought the Pittsburgh Steelers got robbed. Jesse James, who shares the name with the famous outlaw, ironically got robbed. I get what you're saying. By the letter of the law, it was not a catch. But it is such a bad law. It is such a bad rule. This was such a bad look for the National Football League that I'm hoping this will be the signature play. I thought it might be the Dez Bryant play in the playoff game, as you point out, in 2014 back at Green Bay and Lambeau. But I'm hoping, because this was such a big stage game of the year, for all the marbles and home field advantage, we think, in the AFC, depending on the next 2 games, that I'm hoping that somebody sees fit to back off their dug-in, stubbornly proud stance that this has to be ruled this way where you have to, quote unquote, survive the ground. Here's my problem with this rule. And I get that it's a rule and you're just going by, again, strictly the letter of the law.
Yes.
But if a receiver catches the ball while he is upright and clearly controls the ball and takes a step with it, makes a quote unquote football move, in your mind, in your heart, in your receiver's soul, is that not a catch?
No, because he's made no rules, Skip. He caught the ball all in one motion. He didn't take a step. All in one motion, he went. Skip, the ball hit the ground.
Did he not control the football in his hands? This is my problem. It always happens. It's the Dez play all over again in the playoff game because it's about the goal line. It's a receiver who has made a catch, controlled the football. Is he juggling or bobbling the football up in his hands? Correct. He is not. He is not. Dez Bryant gained control of the football. He made one big stride, took a step. And in the case of Dez Bryant, he is then trying to put the ball in his left hand because he's left-handed, and he's trying to slam the ball across the goal line. Well, how is that different from a runner just being able to break the plane with the football? All a runner has to do, because he's a runner, is to just get the nose of the ball across the goal line. That if he loses control, it's okay. You're fine.
They did not deem Dez as a runner. They said Dez was trying to gain control of the ball.
He was not. He had it and took a whole big step with it. And Jesse James, clearly, anybody who knows football, I know you're thinking this in your heart of hearts, he made the catch. Then he tries to hammer the ball into the sod across the goal line. Okay. And when it hits the ground,
what happened?
He loses a little control of it. He clearly lost some control of it. But had he already completed a catch by Shannon Sharp standards? I don't get that. That's as much of a catch as I've ever seen. He caught the football.
And didn't the same thing happen to Adam Thielen last week? Remember, he caught the ball in the end zone. The ball bounces on his chest, and he catches it after he's out of bounds. Incomplete. Skip, when you catch the ball, if you go to the ground, Skip, the ball cannot wiggle. Skip, not only did he dropped it. Skip, the ball hit the ground. The ball, his right hand.
Did he ever have complete control of the football? Jesse James, complete control.
Yes.
Yes. That's a catch. It's over. Ball game. I'm sorry. I'm rooting for the Patriots, but it's over.
So let me ask you a question. So if a guy catches the ball up in the air, he has the ball, he's bringing it in, somebody hits him and knocks the ball out, is that a catch?
Okay, is he falling?
Yes.
So he hasn't taken a step with it?
Yes.
Okay?
James, tell me the step Jesse James takes.
Okay. He caught it and turned and made a football move to go to the goal line. He had complete control. He had both hands on the football. That's complete control. When he slams the ball.
Yes, it's out.
Okay. Yeah, that's out. How many running backs do you see do that?
But he
became a runner.
No, he did not.
Dez Bryant became a runner.
They did not view Dez as a runner. I don't want to get.
They didn't, but I did.
Okay, but Skip, the rule clearly states the rule is black and white. That's why they took the ambiguity. Well, it looks like a catch. Is this a catch? Is that a catch? If you go to the ground, you must maintain possession of the ball throughout the entirety of the act.
It's a goal line issue because if Jesse James had caught that ball at the 50, unless he was trying to maybe make a first down with it, usually you just catch it and go to the ground and you'd say, oh, that's a catch, because there's no way he would try to slam the ball across the goal line. Maybe the first down line, Jason Witten had a play last night where he tried to get it. In fact, it led to what we're going to talk about, the Sterator call. Yeah. But the point here is that he catches it and becomes a runner in his mind, because now he's a goal line runner where I just got to break the plane. I got to slam the ball into the end zone. And when he slams it on the turf, he loses control of it. Well, he'd already caught it. It's like, that's not completing the catch. The catch was completed. That's what I argued about Dez Bryant.
No, Skip, he didn't. Skip, he was not a runner. Skip, he was not a run. That's not a football play. Doing this is not a football play, Skip.
Did he not control the football?
Skip.
Yes, even you admitted he did. It was a clean catch while he's upright, right? When he's upright, did he not control the football?
But what does it say once he goes to the ground? If a receiver catches the football and he goes to the ground, he must maintain possession. Yes.
That's what the rule says.
Yes.
The rule has to be changed this offseason. This is such a bad look. I will bet you that only the most hardcore New England Patriot fans thought that wasn't a catch. And I will bet you that 90% of most fans, just casual fans watching, they're just outraged over this because it's starting to ruin the viewing experience. Because everybody who's played Little League football would say, yeah, he caught the football. He controlled the football while he was upright.
But here's the thing. There are rules. I mean, maybe college, you need 1 foot to get in bounds. And so the rules vary between Little League, high school, college, and the NFL. But in the NFL bylaws, it says a catch is when a receiver catches the football, he must maintain possession throughout the entirety of the act.
So now I want to know what Shannon Sharp, the Hall of Famer, thinks happened after that, because you still have a couple of more plays to right the wrong, right?
I blame the majority of this of Ben Roethlisberger. If they tell you in your ear to clock it and you said you didn't have enough time, why are you trying to run a play? Now, I've seen him run that play with Antonio Brown, but Antonio Brown and Eli Rodgers is not. Eli Rodgers is not Antonio Brown. But here's the thing, Skip. You said you didn't have enough time. Now, Roethlisberger,
said,
Big Ben says he has said clock it. Well, you must clock it because you get Juju, you get Hayward Bay, and you get Le'Veon doing absolutely nothing. So those guys on the backside are just standing in the end zone. So when the ball caroms, guess what happened? It caroms to one of their guys that's just standing there also.
There are like 7 defenders in the middle of the field.
Skip, they had 2 to 3 minutes to come up. Okay,
I agree.
Here's the thing. You're looking at it. If it's a touchdown, you kick the PAT, no harm, no foul. If it's not a touchdown, we going over. Okay, what do we want here? Now, we have no more timeouts. Ben, do not complete any passes inbounds. Now, he got some pressure immediately, but he stepped up. He threw the ball to the flat to Darius Hayward Bay. How about throw the ball out of bounds? The clock is your enemy. Throw the ball out of bounds. Now you got probably 12 seconds to get 2 plays if you need to.
Agreed.
But the mere fact that he didn't, and even then, Skip, Ben has enough cachet to overrule whatever. Now, he said he didn't want to overrule it, but you did because the offensive coordinator told you to clock the ball. You throw him under the bus and said he told you to clock it, but you didn't do what he asked you to do. Now, if you got the cachet to override him and do this, you definitely have the cachet to override him and says, okay, instead of coming to the middle, I don't know what it is about trying to throw those slant routes in the middle at this juncture of the ball game. Guess they didn't watch Super Bowl 49, did they, Skip? And this is what happens because when you try to throw that play, there's so many bodies in there. That ball pops up in the air. You got the entire backside, Skip, just standing there. Malcolm Butler, Harmon, I think, made the pick, and the other guy that's outside, they're just standing there.
Well, Eric Rowe cut across and made the play. Yeah, he got his hand on it.
Yeah, but Eric Rowe was covering.
He was covering
Eli Rodgers. But I'm talking about the backside.
Well, they're all just standing there because they have nobody to cover.
Because you know why? Because Ben said kill it. Okay. If you say kill the ball, you got to kill the ball because you just told them to do it. Only the front side, Antonio. That's the play between Ben and Antonio Brown. Obviously, Eli Rodgers is Antonio's backup, so he knows what to do. But if they said clock it, Ben, you said clock it. The offensive coordinator tells you to clock it. You clock the ball. One play. Either you decide we going for the win or we're going to kick the game time field goal. So Ben held the majority of the culpability. I had no problem, but you had 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes while they're reviewing this. Obviously, Skip, if it's a touchdown, you kick the PAT, you walk home, you're probably going to win the game. But here's the thing. Worst case scenario, Ben, if this ball is incomplete, what do you like here? Now, we only got 12, 13 seconds. What do you like here? Because this is what we can't do. We can't complete a pass inbound because we're not going to have enough time. If it's not in the end zone, either you throw the ball in the end zone or you throw it out of bounds. Let's get back to the line of scrimmage and have another play.
So, what did the last 2 plays of that football game prove to me? It showed you why Ben Roethlisberger is not Tom Brady and why Mike Tomlin is not Bill Belichick. And you might even go so far as to say why Todd Haley is not Josh McDaniels. Because the Patriots wouldn't have botched that the way Pittsburgh botched every moment you could botch of it. Everything went chaotically wrong.
You know what happened, Skip? Pittsburgh should have never been in this situation. Mike Tomlin said at the end of the game, they're playing to win. If you're playing to win, when you got the ball on the 28-yard line, the best unit you have is your offense. Give the ball to Le'Veon Bell in 4th and 1, and you don't have to worry about that. Because you treat Brady like Bill Belichick treated Peyton Manning. He knows he can't stop him in that situation. I'm not giving you the ball back.
Okay, so to your point, there is a long replay review. It takes, I don't know, I didn't
At least 2
time
minutes,
it.
Skip.
No, longer. It took 5 minutes, didn't it?
Yeah. Well, in our time, actually,
in that
absolutely.
time frame, first it took Jim Nantz and Tony Romo to do a great job, but it took them a while to even focus on, wait a second, oh, he lost control because they thought the review was going to be about did he score or not, right? I mean, did he go down or get across the goal line?
Right.
And Jim Nantz thought it was just a done deal, that it was going to be a touchdown. Like, oh, let's go on. What are we wasting time for?
Right.
And all of a sudden, oh, wait a second. The ball bobbles loose when he hits the ground. So now somebody up in the Steelers coaching press box has to be ahead of that curve and tell Tomlin, wait a second, this could get overturned. What's plan B and C? Because you might have a couple of more downs.
Yes.
So to your point, you have nothing but time. You have longer than timeout time, right?
Yes, absolutely.
To go over your scenarios. Let's do this, let's do that. If we do this, let's not do that. Let's get it set in our heads
sacks.
what we're doing.
No sacks.
And what happens on second down? What does he do? Ben rolls a little to his left and dumps it on a shallow cross to Darius Hayward-Bay, who, check this out, he's caught one ball all year on 2 targets. Darius Hayward-Bay is obviously in the game because Antonio's not in the game. So you throw it to a guy who didn't even think he'd get any playing time yesterday. And what does he do? He's being covered by the best cover corner on the field, Malcolm Butler, who immediately runs him down and sort of hog ties him from behind and throws him down a half yard short of the sideline. You're in bound, and the ref takes a quick look at it like, it's close. And then he says, wind the clock. Well, now you are screwed because you have no timeouts, and what are you going to do now, Ben?
Exactly.
So Ben wants to go for the throat, and I'm good with that. He wants to clock it and then try to come up with one play for for all the marbles, for the whole regular season. You can make one throw to win it, but it's going to be an organized plan throw as opposed to just complete fire drill, right? And as he says, clock it, he does the head signal for clock it. They're yelling in his ear, according to Ben after the game, and he threw everybody under the bus. I mean, you could say he's just honest about it, but they're yelling, run the play. Just run the play, because they want to run the play and hope to save the 4th down if they need the field goal. If he throws it incomplete, you still got the field goal, right? And help me out here. Eli Rodgers, a second-year undrafted free agent out of Louisville, is on the right flank. He's flanked far outside right. Okay, again, this is in part because there's no Antonio. Okay, so how did Eli Rodgers know to run any route at all, or did he just screw up and run a route?
No, because that's the play between Ben and AB. And because Eli...
But did he know enough to know?
For him to
I don't know.
For him to do that, he absolutely knew.
I'm not sure.
Because there's no way he would have run that. Because you look at the left side, they do nothing. He comes in.
Okay, what was the tip-off that Ben was changing the play? He did reach up and pat his ear lobes, sort of. Did he change the play? Because he'd already called a spike. And then Ben, when he gets the snap from under center, he gives a half-hearted, quick, fake spike that fooled nobody. Except screwed up the whole Steeler offense, because nobody moves except Eli.
Because you know why, Skip? He had yelled, kill it. So Le'Veon standing there. Juju standing there. Hayward-Bay is standing there.
I'm still not sure about this. It's possible Eli Rodgers just didn't get the kill it sign and just started running his route. And that Ben, who's now just, you want to know the truth? He's choking. He's choking under extreme end-of-year, season-on-the-line pressure. He is completely overwhelmed with the moment because he had called one play and they're yelling in his ear, no, run a play. So he's trying to say, okay, I'm going to run a play, but everybody thinks we're going to spike it. So will somebody go out? And I think Eli just accidentally went out.
Ben, go with your gut. Ben has enough cachet. Ben is
does.
a 2-time Super Bowl winning quarterback. And I'm willing to live, because here's the thing, Skip. If you kill the ball, so now you got one down, now you get to decide, are we going for the win, or are we kicking this ball and going to overtime?
So he does the worst thing possible to the undrafted free agent second-year player out of Louisville. He just runs kind of I don't even know if it's a slant. It was kind of like a down and a cross.
That's a one-step slant route.
Yeah, okay.
So he's coming.
But again, Eric Rowe's on him. And Ben made a decent throw. Eric Rowe made a nice play on the ball. But to your point, when the ball gets tipped up in the air, you have the entire secondary just standing around waiting to do something because nobody's moving.
You can't throw because you either complete that ball in the first window. Once he comes, Skip, it's too many people. It's too many bodies in there. You're trying to complete that ball basically over the center. You can't throw a slant route over the center to a guy that came from the right side.
Okay, so I can't compare it to what happened at the end of the Seattle-New England Super Bowl because at least they called the play and they ran the play and all 11 men participated in blocking. And who was it? Ricardo Lockett ran the route.
Yes.
And Malcolm Butler made a great – he jumped the route. So, again, this was just absolute helter-skelter chaos.
I thought there's enough blame to go around. But when you had this time, when they're reviewing this play, there lies the problem that I have with the entire – that's where it went awry. So everybody – you watching the Jumbotron, you can see, hold up, that's going to get overruled. Yeah. That's not going to be a touchdown.
Sure.
So now here we go. Now,
get ready.
Forget Mike Tomlin. Todd Haley, you should have Ben on the side, Ben, what you like. Now, we only going to have 2 chances. We only got 13.
Wait, you like Darius Hayward-Bay and Eli Apple for the last 2 plays?
Right.
You think he said that?
No.
I don't think he said that.
So what do we got here, Ben? Now, this is the 2 things that can't happen. We can't take a sack because the game's over, and we don't want to get a ball completed and bound because it's going to run too much time off the clock. And so now –
disaster.
Absolute
disaster.
End zone or out of bounds. Those are our 2 options, Ben. Those are our only 2 options.
The 2 worst things. The worst case scenario happened on both plays.
He throws the ball inbounds. The guy gets tackled inbounds. Clock's ticking. Ben is like, I want to kill it. They say no. So now you got 2 things. Kill it, no. And now what does he do? He throws a pick that made the bad situation even worse than it originally was in the beginning when it didn't have to be this way, Skip.
Yep, well, it was a disaster, and we're going to talk about it.
How do you feel about it?
I mean, I knew they were going to overturn it. It's a catch, though. It's a catch. Shannon, it's a catch. They have to fix it. I knew they were going to overturn it because that's what the rule is. But
you wrote articles your whole life.
I'd say
columns. I'm not going to tell you if the punctuation was right. I'm not going to tell you that. I just caught 815 of those things, Joy. I know what it is. I know the rules, Skip.
You know in your heart it was caught.
You know it was a catch.
It was caught.
You know it was a catch. It was a robbery.
It was caught, and then he didn't hold on to it. So
no mercy. Tom Brady and company won their 5th straight against Pittsburgh yesterday. Brady finished with nearly 300 yards and a touchdown and led another game-winning drive. He hit Gronk on 3 straight passes to set up the go-ahead touchdown. New England is now 11-3. Shannon, how would you grade Brady's performance?
I give him a G for Gronk. And all he did was what I told you what was going to happen, Skip. I said when Gronk was out, he will come in, he'll get 12 to 13 targets. If I'm not mistaken, he got 13. 9 for $168. And he took over the ball game. And I said, the Steelers have no answer for him. Now, you would have thought on this situation like this, okay, they need a touchdown to beat me. Field goal does them no good. If Amendola beats me, if Philip Dorsett's beating me, if Brandon Cooks beat me, I'm going to live with that. The one guy, and I said when he's fully healthy, he's the most dominant non-quarterback in all football. I'm talking about if you factor in running backs, you factor in receivers, and you factor in the tight ends. Non-quarterbacks, 87 for the New England Patriots at 6'7", 270 plus, is the most dominant offensive non-quarterback in the NFL. And what Pittsburgh allowed to happen was allowed him to run wild and dominate them again. And hey, I don't know what you want me to tell you, Skip. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
What would you give Brady for a letter grade? You're avoiding Joy's question because you don't want to give him any credit.
I gave him a B. I give him a B. He had the 1 interception, but when they needed, and this is what I say, no matter what your offense or defense, if you're top 5 offense, top 5 defense, if you're top 5 offense, Skip, can you go get me a touchdown or field goal when you absolutely have to? If you're top 5 defense, can you get a stop? Can you get off the field on 3rd or 4th down when you have to? They needed a touchdown. They needed Brady to be great, and he was great. But Skip,
so if he's great, how can you give him a B?
He threw it at Skip. He threw an interception. You don't get a perfect. Hold on, wait a minute. Are you trying to give him a perfect letter grade?
No.
When LeBron had a triple-double and you said he missed 2 free throws?
We're talking about Tom Brady.
I'm saying that
LeBron does not belong in the same sentence with Tom.
Stop it.
You
stop
it.
Stop it, Skip.
We're
Stop
talking
it.
about
Stop it.
5 rings here.
It doesn't matter.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't matter. He
Yes,
plays
it
one
does.
side of the ball. There's a reason why he wasn't one of the top 20 greatest athletes.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that.
Well, he
okay,
is.
thank you. But anyway, he threw an interception, so that knocks him down to a B. But when he had to be great, he was great. He made throws. But was that a great throw that Gronk took off his shoes from 17 yards away? Was that a great throw to get Bayless? Yes or no?
No.
Okay, then.
Well, I mean, he didn't make every great throw, but he made a whole bunch of them under pressure with no protection.
Skip, I'm just asking you a simple question.
Man.
You want to give him an A, and I can't give him an A.
I'm not going to give him an A+, but I'm going to give him an A. That was hard,
With
man.
an interception.
At Pittsburgh
So he had
in
a
the
flaw.
rain. Let's keep this in perspective.
The perspective-
You don't want any perspective here. The defense is in a shambles right now. It is decimated. They didn't even have their best front
Top 5
seven
scoring
play
defense in the NFL, though.
over the last 3 or 4
Now
weeks.
they're currently the top 5 defense.
They just got riddled by Jay Cutler. Did you see what Jay did yesterday? I guess you saw, right?
But I told you that. You was hyping.
No, I'm just telling you, that's who just ripped them apart. And they just gave up in the last 3 weeks 183 yards rushing at Buffalo and 120 at Miami. Really?
And gave up 1.3
And so you're calling them a top 5 defense when Le'Veon just had his way with them?
Scoring defense.
Wow, interesting.
Yards don't get you beat.
Okay.
Points get you beat.
So Kyle Van Noy, their best front 7 player, couldn't go again yesterday. Dante Hightower is out for the year. And on offense, Marcus Cannon, the best offensive lineman, is gone. They couldn't protect him about 3/4 of the time. And you've been telling me all year long, better be careful. He's going to get another couple of years taken off his life. Haven't you been telling me that? They were all over him most of the day yesterday. Wouldn't you say your biggest takeaway was that Pittsburgh mostly looked like the better team yesterday? Mostly?
Well, here's the thing, though, Skip, and I told you this. Some teams just match up better against other teams. The Steelers have no answer for Gronk. Until they can solve that problem, they can't beat the Patriots.
Okay, so what happened last year without Gronk for the last 8 games?
But
They won the Super Bowl.
Skip, here's the thing. You keep saying that, but he had Edelman. You take both of those. I tell you what, how did Tom Brady look Monday night, and how did he look Sunday?
Well, obviously he needs to have somebody to throw to. Somebody.
Okay.
Because he doesn't have Edelman, and yesterday he didn't have Chris Hogan again. So what's that, like 6 games? He tried to go up Miami, and he was just a disaster.
But you can't. But you got to stop trying to build in these excuses.
They're not excuses, they're facts.
Because during the course of the game, you keep telling me, Brady doesn't have a Martavis Bryant. He doesn't have a Juju.
He doesn't.
He has a guy that's more dominant than both of those guys combined. 6'7", 270, Rob Gronkowski. Who has that?
So last year he had Martellus to have a bookend tight end, and now he's got Dwayne Allen. How's he done so far? He's been a major disappointment,
Yes,
if not just a
yes.
flat-out free agent
Yes.
signee bust,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And who has helped a lot with both the run and the catch game? Rex Burkhead.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday? Out, hurt, gone. James White got nicked early in the game and was useless at the backside of the game.
I saw
Right?
that, got pulled down, but I hated when guys tackle me like that, Skip. They drop their weight down on his ankle, and I knew it. As soon as it happened, he gone.
He tried to come back and it was useless.
Nope.
So look at all the weapons who are not there. And yet, in the rain against your arch rival, at least in the AFC, he did that. How about the 17-16 touchdown throw where I was going to say bolts up. He's not capable of bolting, but he ran through the rush, right? He cut up field through the rush, stopped, and hit Brandon Cooks with the touchdown pass. Yeah. It's special stuff. He has great pocket feet that nobody gives him credit for.
He has great what we call phone booth awareness. When people are around him, and that's what he likes to do, Skip. He likes to step up. Now, he will shuffle left or right, but all things being equal, he likes to step up into the pocket and throw. But, Skip, on the 2-point conversion, and when I told you, if you do your job, if you play your responsibility, I'm going to show you. Now, on the 2-point conversion, Mike Mitchell knows. He's like, you know what? On 4th and 1, they threw it to Gronk on a slant.
Yep.
He's screaming to come take the slant away in the end zone. Mike Davis got outside leverage. What does he do, Skip? Remember, I told you, I beat a lot of guys because they wanted to get an interception against Shannon Sharp and John Elway. He jumps inside when Mike Mitchell is coming to take the slant away. If he stays outside, if the guy beats you outside, so be it. He's a better player. But don't get caught up in your feelings and say, I knocked the ball down or I got a pick on a 2-point conversion. He used your aggressiveness and he used you trying to be the hero against you. Mike Mitchell at the snap of the ball is coming to knock the crap out of Gronk or pick this. Maybe it's 2 points the other way. And what does Mike Davis do? Sean Davis jumps hard inside. You know why? Play your job. That's not your job. Inside is not your job.
How many young quarterbacks have I seen this year overthrow that throw? It's not that simple. You got to throw it where he can catch it. I know he's a big guy, but you can't overthrow it. You can't underthrow it. You got to put it on the money.
Normally,
put it on the money.
Yeah, normally it's a little further back to the back pylon because you want it goes out of bounds.
In the first two throws in that drive, 26 and 26 to Gronk, it looked like they reverted to playing zone. That's what it looked like to me. I don't have the coach's tape, but it looked like he just found a seam in the zone.
Well, they're playing man, but he's playing outside leverage. And what should happen, Skip, is that the free safety, once he sees Gronk's release, he needs to come right now and either try and pick that ball or have a big collision. But once you let the guy catch the ball, all you can do is just hope to tackle him. Pittsburgh did a lot of things that were wrong. Give the Patriots credit. And what they do, they take advantage. They find a weakness. They take advantage of it. And Gronk he's a handful. But if you do not jam him at the line of scrimmage, you got no chance of stopping him because once he picks up a head of steam, a man that size is almost indefensible.
Well, I hate to break this news to you, but I warned you on Friday this was about to happen because he had the golden opportunity of game of the year at Pittsburgh, the one everybody was waiting for all year long. Tom Brady won the MVP yesterday.
Skip.
It's over.
Antonio Brown got hurt. Russell Wilson played. Be that as it may, Tom Brady is still 5 touchdowns. He has the same amount of interceptions. He has a lower QBR than one Carson Wentz. That's what we know. Now, we can get on this speculation and innuendo conjecture. All I know, he's 33-7. He was leading the #1 scoring offense. He has a QBR that's higher than Tom Brady. Tom Brady is 28-7.
Well, if we're going by that logic, let's give Deshaun the MVP then. He's still got the highest QBR.
Hold on.
Right?
What about touchdowns, the interception?
Well, I mean, he was sensational while he played, but he got hurt.
But he's Skip. Stop now. See you see what I'm
look
saying?
at what he did. Look where he has them.
He did in 5 games.
They're the #1 seed with nothing. They got nothing.
He did what he did in 5 games. Carson Wentz had a body of work of 13 games. You make it seem like Carson Wentz went out week 7. He's 33-7 with the #2 QBR, and guess what, Skip? He's gonna finish the league year.
Who has the better football team, both around him on offense and on defense? It's not even close. You
never made that concession when you gave Tom Brady the MVP before. In 2007, when he won the MVP, did you say the great team that he had around him? No, you said the guy played well and he deserved the MVP. So don't start making excuses now.
I don't remember saying anything about
Yes, you do.
I really don't. I don't.
I'll bring the tape in tomorrow. I'll let you see. Because I keep all that. Oh, yeah, I keep it.
No mercy. The Cowboys won their 3rd straight last night, beating the Raiders 20-17. Derek Carr fumbled the ball in the final minute when he was diving for the go-ahead touchdown. On the Cowboys' drive before that, with the game tied at 17, Dallas went for it on 4th and 1 from their own 39-yard line. In one of the most bizarre moments ever, referee Gene Steratore used an index card to measure if Dak made it. The Cowboys were given the first down and went on to kick the go-ahead field goal. And to make things even more interesting, last night was the first Cowboys game Steratore has worked since the Dez no-catch game against the Packers. After the game, everyone reacted to the controversial measurement.
I've never seen the referee pull out a card. That was interesting. But I feel like I got it. I feel like it wasn't that close. We got it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But that was interesting.
I don't want to get fined, okay? I'm not happy with the way things were done on a lot of different situations throughout the night. They did the best they could. I had a different viewpoint. I saw error. Thought it was pretty obvious. But, again, they do the best they can with the tough job.
Have you ever seen that happen before, where they brought out a call?
Never seen air like that and it somehow turned into a first down. There's an air between the ball and the stick. That's sure short. Okay? Goes the other way. Period.
Shannon, did you have a problem with the measurement?
I don't have a problem with the measurement.
Oh, I thought you were going to measure.
No,
your
yeah,
phone.
I'm going.
Oh,
I don't have a problem him pulling the card out. He said he used the index card to reaffirm what he already knew. But it just so happens when he pulled the index card out, Skip, it backed him into a corner because there was air between the ball. Because see, if I try to stick this in between
so
there,
that's what you're going to do.
oh, but Joy. Yeah. Because if you stick that between there, there's no way. If it's a first down, there's no way you should be able to get an index card in between the yard marker and the football. But he slid it up and down with nothing touching.
No problem.
So
Easy.
I know, look. You think they've had it in for you, the Dallas Cowboys fans, Skip Bayless, Gene Steratore, since the non-catch of the Dez. But you blew this one. I feel very comfortable in saying he will not be reffing in the Super Bowl. Skip, this was absolutely horrendous. I got no problem because he wanted to make sure, he wanted to check, recheck, and then recheck to make sure this was or it wasn't a first down.
Yep.
But in the process of doing that,
Yep.
there's air between the ball and the yard marker. That should have been the Raiders' ball, and for all intents and purposes, the Raiders should have been going the other way with a chance to kick the game-winning field goal or score the game-winning touchdown. But because of this, I don't know. NFL's going to come out. I guarantee you, the next day or so, NFL's going to come out and say he missed his call.
Maybe so. All I got to say about last night was they're alive. They're still alive. I don't know how, but they're alive. I told you it took 7 years off my life. Ernestine is not speaking to me. Our Maltese Hazel is definitely not speaking to me. They said the neighbors complained about me because I was losing my mind over all of the above. And just for the record, to put this in the scope of this quote-unquote game, which was an eyesore of a football game between what looked like two bad teams, I'm going to be honest about this. That's what it looked like to me. The Cowboys should have put this game away in the first quarter and shut up all those black hole fans. Should have just done it because the Raiders were asking to be beaten in the first quarter, and they let them off the hook. And here they came, and all of a sudden it's 10-10, and my team, my Dallas Cowboys, had to resort to running a fake punt from their 24-yard line on 4th and 11. 4th and 11 from your 20. You ran a fake punt, and the punter had to cut inside the block, so it wasn't like there's just an open flank. And Chris Jones, who can run a little bit, ran 24 yards, and all of a sudden they have to resort to some sort of Statue of Liberty. What was it, a throwback play? But that didn't work, but they go down and get the touchdown. So it's 17-10, and then this thing happens. 4th and 1.
The flea flicker.
It's a flea flicker, yeah. So it's 4th and 1 from the Cowboy 39. This is the whole season for them. This is game on the line because if you don't get the 1 yard, it's going to be dubious that you're going to win and survive this game because the Raiders have all the momentum and you've got none. The line cannot protect Dak Prescott in the second half. They can't get an inch running the football. And now it's going to come down to a centimeter thanks to Gene Steratore. Now, I agree with Dak Prescott. I thought on a second thrust, I thought he more than got the first down on the second thrust. But it was so busy inside the scrum, you couldn't really see. But I thought he thrusted again with the football before he went down. I thought he got a bad spot. But the spot was the spot, and I think Gene Steratore got mixed up. I do. I think he got it backwards in his head.
So you think he said no first down?
Yeah, he just got, remember, he's a showman to a fault. I don't like referees who are showmen. Remember Joey Crawford in the NBA? He's such a showman. He wants to be the story, and finally he's going off on the Spurs bench calling technicals, and they suspended him for a while. But the point is, Steratore's grinning and he's having a good time. He's cutting up with everybody. So he's going to be a showman. He's going to pull out some kind of note card that's doubled up, it's folded over.
Right.
And he's going to show you And all of a sudden, he shows you it's not a first down. It's not. It was so clearly not. It was. I said it's a centimeter, but it was like a quarter of an inch short, right?
Yes, it was.
It was clearly not a first down. And I took one look at it before the no card went down, and I said, that's it.
I said the same thing.
I just sat back and said, we're done. Season's over. Game over.
Yeah.
They're going to go score, and this is going to go crazy the other way.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. Now, the ref who was holding the down marker did have it leaning back. And to Jason Garrett's credit, he's waving it, like, hold it straight up.
Right.
But even when he held it straight up, it didn't look right. It didn't look short.
I agree with you, Skip. I believe in his mind, he said not a first down. That's what he's thinking in his head.
Yep.
This isn't a first. Let me get my index card to show that it isn't a first down.
Yep.
But in the process, he's like, oh, this is first down. But that's not what you had originally thought, because anybody that's looking at that can see that there's air between the yard marker and the football. And because if there's no way you could have got that card between there.
That's
there's
correct.
Because he got nothing moved. The yard marker didn't get touched. The football didn't move. He just like this here, and he up there, key. He's smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling.
Kevin, Khalil Mack should have slapped the taste out of him about you. What you laughing for?
He got mixed up.
Yeah.
And he screwed it up. And then he tried to back talk it out when he gave his statement to the media.
Reaffirm.
To reconfirm. I already knew it was a first down. No, you didn't. Or you wouldn't have pulled out your no card.
That's when you put foots in him, Joy. Khalil Mack should have put foots in
Khalil Mack could be gone for 2 years.
No, Skip, no. Because after he did that, Skip, now come on now.
Okay.
I know you're Cowboys and you like it because,
Okay.
like you said, they're alive. But they were wrong.
Okay, they were wrong. Next play, Des Bryant somehow actually gets open deep for only the second time all year, but it was a better throw than catch because he gets it for a 40-yard catch, and Sean Smith's just running beside him, but Dak manages to throw it to the sideline.
And what? Back shoulder.
Back shoulder, and he falls backwards and sort of sits down and catches it for 40 yards, and all of a sudden we're back in business. We got this. It's going to be our game. And we go, Alfred Morris for 3, and Alfred Morris, and Alfred Morris, and all of a sudden it's 4th and goal. I'm out of my mind. The walls are reverberating in my house. Seriously, the neighbors are complaining because you can't run 3 unclever, uncreative plays. Then they ran 3 straight handoffs.
Yeah.
You got Dak Prescott, who can run read option with Alfred Morris. You could flip it to Cole Beasley. You could do what Brady does when he would flip it to, God bless him, Julian Edelman or Amendola, right? You could do 100 other things than hand it 3 times to a guy who's not a power back.
Why would you want to? Do you realize here's Dak's numbers in the 6 games without Zeke Elliott? He's averaging 191 yards passing, 5 TDs, 7 INTs. There's been 1 game in the 6 in which he's mustered more than 215 yards passing. And you want him the ball in his hand.
Heck yes, I do. Okay. Did you see him run last night? Did you see who scored the touchdown? He ran.
I'm just telling you.
I want him throwing the ball. I want him running. I want him rolling out. I'll take him on a rollout.
That got you 0-3.
Oh, please. Those are skewed numbers. They all came when the defense was collapsing. They are. Was the defense not pretty good last night?
Skip, I'm just telling you.
I'll take him any day. He's the clutchest player on that team on the offense.
That's not saying much.
Well, it's saying a lot.
Well,
they're still alive, 8-6.
When's the last time y'all won a playoff game, Skip?
Well, what does that matter with what's happening right now? They
saying
should have won the one last year. And speaking of last year, so what happens? They go right down, and next play, Derek Carr has the ball back, and who does he throw it to? To my guy who's been demoted, little Anthony Brown, who started in the Green Bay game and got torched by Aaron Rodgers, as most rookies would get torched.
Of course.
He lost his job 2 games ago, but he's in as a nickel corner, and Derek Carr throws him a perfect pass that he should have waltzed into the end zone with, and the game should have been over. Hits him right in the hands, and he didn't drop it. He just, it looked like a Dez catch where he threw up the X and it hit him in the face mask.
If he could catch, he'd be a running back.
I guess so. But that took another year off my life. And then it gets to 4th and 10, and Derek Carr heaves a prayer up. And my other little rookie corner is running with Crabtree, who's a sly, savvy veteran receiver who just stops his route because the ball is way underthrown. And little Jordan Lewis runs into him, and it's a 55-yard penalty, and I'm on the floor again. I'm just rolling on the floor saying, that's it, game over. And it finally takes Derek Carr trying too hard to make a play at the end of the game, and my guy Jeff Heath, I have no use for Jeff Heath as a football player, as a safety, but he can run. That's the only thing he can do. He can run 4.4. That's why they signed him in the first place.
Yeah.
And he gets on a big, first he made a play in the end zone to knock a ball away, which I haven't seen him do all year.
It should have been PI, but go ahead.
Okay, you know what? It was close. It was close. I thought he might get the flag on it because he wrapped his arm around the backside. But he makes a beeline, and he hits Derek Carr, and Derek Carr tries to do too much and extends the ball and loses it. And maybe that's a bad rule too, but that is definitely a rule. You lost the ball in the field of play, and it went through the end zone and out of bounds. That's a touchback.
Yeah. He had the first down.
He did. It was over. All you got to do is just tuck.
If that's the last play of the game,
Done.
I got no problem with what Derek Carr did.
You got plenty of time.
He's selling out.
It's over. Game's over.
You got the first down. You got 30 seconds and a timeout.
Yep.
So you got to take as much time as you need, because you know at worst case scenarios, Skip, if you don't get the ball in the end zone, you'll kick the game time field goal. But that remains to be debated, because you saw what happened right before the end of the first half. 120 yards, and I don't know what he was thinking. Must have been on that stolen heel.
Maybe.
But Skip, this is what, and I've been out on Derek Carr. Everybody, I just have.
You brought it up Friday. He's had a bad year.
Yeah, but I don't see the consistency. I don't see the consistency of a guy that's taking that next step to be talked about week in and week out as that next line of quarterbacks. I don't see that enough from him. And in this situation, you got the first down. You got the first down. But here's the problem, Skip. He puts the ball in his left hand. The defender is coming from the inside. So if he hits you in the back while you're diving, where's the ball going, Skip? You got the ball here, he hits you in the back, and that's what happened. Keep the ball in your right hand.
It was a minor miracle. No, it wasn't a minor miracle. It was a miracle. It was just a miracle. And we're alive.
No.
We're alive.
It'll end tonight because the Packers.
And did you see those?
Once Atlanta beat Tampa tonight.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But did you see those pictures that NBC posted from Zeke's representative? Did you see those pictures of Zeke last night?
I want to talk about Zeke. We'll talk about Zeke tomorrow.
He was in Cabo San, Europe, right? Cabo San, Europe. That's where he was. Close enough.
Yeah.
And you know what? Zeke looked really good.
He did.
And our man Eric Dickerson spent some time with him in Cabo and said he looked really good because he didn't have any more pot belly that he had the first of the year. He had a little pot belly.
My concern now, I have a problem with, why would it take you 6 weeks in the middle of the season when you had 3 months, 4 months in the entire offseason?
A very good question.
But hey.
But I don't care, because guess what happens at 10 a.m. this morning, Central Time?
He back.
He walks through that door.
Zeke's back.
Here we go.
Hey,
Don't let this team get in the playoffs.
Hopefully he's figured it out. But old Philadelphia ain't going nowhere.
Wait, the ones that gave up 500 yards?
Gave up 500. But what didn't they give up? Joy. What's that Joy? You know what? I got gingerbread now. Gingerbread.
Well, guess who visited your restaurant late last night? The Dallas Cowboys. They said, we want a dub.
I know.
What do you think?
I know who
dub.
I know
Big
who
dub. With icing on top.
Did you see who was on the date in D.C.?
No.
Told Savannah he going to church.
No.
He out there in D.C. with old Miss Triple. You saw that again.
You got to resort to LeBron.
Maybe it's just something with Saratoga in the Cowboys.
He ain't going nowhere.
He's a Cowboy fan.
Maybe.
No, he ain't.
Yes, he is.
No. He like Carson. He told you he like Wentz.
No mercy. The Cowboys kept their playoff hopes alive with a 20-17 win in Oakland last night. Derek Carr fumbled while diving into the end zone in the final minute, giving the ball to the Cowboys. Dallas has now won 3 straight to get to 8-6. And more good news for Dallas. Ezekiel Elliott will be back for their game on Sunday.
Uh-oh. Here he comes.
He's back. Shannon, should Dallas be encouraged or discouraged by their performance last night?
They should be discouraged, because you played a very, very bad football team in the Oakland Raiders. They're very porous. The 25th ranked pass defense. They had like 2 interceptions coming into the game. They left with more than they came into the game with. Skip,
whose fault was the first interception? Well, if you're asking me, you just opened the door and looked at me and wanted me to run through.
No, I did not.
Did he not?
No, I didn't ask you.
You said it's your turn. I said I'll take that.
Normally,
I'll take the ball and run with it. I will cross the goal line with the football.
Okay. But you must maintain possession throughout
the
entire
game.
Normally, what I ask, Skip, let me ask you a question. I didn't ask you a question, Skip.
You're supposed to say rhetorical question.
No.
Not to be answered.
Joy asked Shannon Should the Cowboys be encouraged or discouraged? What should they be encouraged about? They should be discouraged because they played a bad football team that's not very good in pass defense, and old Dak Prescott had 212 yards, 2 INTs. They were 2 for 10 on third down. And I'm supposed to be encouraged by that, Skip? Now, if you want to say they won the ball game, that's encouraging. But how you won the ball game, you're not going to play the Raiders. You know, I know somebody in the last game of the season, they're going to be fighting trying to get that old home field. They want one of them first 2 buys. They want one of them, Skip. So you know what that means? Nick Foles. Philadelphia going to have to do what he do. He going to fold them bows on y'all. So you get what's coming. You get your come up. And I told you this long time ago.
I told you the Giants were way more dangerous than you gave them credit for when Dallas went up there and won 30-10. And what did the Giants do to the Eagles yesterday?
Lost.
500 yards is what they did to them.
I just need to know. I just need to know one thing. Did you go to my restaurant that I opened up close to the stadium?
Wait, I got to ask you just one question.
Sure.
Did the Cowboys visit last night to your restaurant when they got back?
Yeah, I had to stay open late.
Yeah, you had to stay open late because they got the
Gene
dub.
Steratore.
Yeah.
And the index card, Skip, you know it.
So it is now my turn. I was discouraged by what I saw last night, and this morning I am dramatically encouraged because number 21 is back in the fold, and if I'm to believe those pictures that NBC showed last night...
Photoshop.
They could be. Well, I said if I'm to believe them, but they're from Zeke's agent, and I'm going to guess that's Zeke because our man Eric Dickerson sat right here last week and said he visited with Zeke down in Cabo San, Europe. That's where he went, for
Casablanca.
6 weeks. Yeah, Casablanca. Would you believe I watched that the other night?
Again, for what?
I don't know. I
Movie's
just love
4 hours.
Love it. It's not 4 hours.
Okay, 3:33.
I don't think it is. But anyway, the point is that last night, my team suffered from are we there yet syndrome because they should have just done away with this team in the first quarter. Did it not look like they were on the way? Alfred Morris, 6. Alfred Morris, 8. They're just rolling. The offensive line is dominating. And what happens? 88 happened again. I can't trust him. I don't love him anymore.
That was a poor throw.
It was not. That throw to Dez, that's exactly where Tony Romo always threw it. That's where he loves it. Go up and snatch it.
Yeah,
and guess what he did? Oh, he saw Navarro Bowman coming, and he was like,
he quit on the route.
He quit. He just waved. He waved to the football.
He made a business decision.
Hi, football. How are you? And Sean Smith is just standing back there and says, I guess I should just catch this, I guess. And you know what?
It was a business decision.
Yeah, it was a business decision. And Dak Prescott said, I'm going to make a business decision. I'm not going to throw it to 88 for a long time. And it took a long time before he threw it to 88. And under pressure, when they didn't need a play, he did throw the 40-yarder to Dez up the boundary, and he threw it outside. And it was, I guess it was back shoulder. I don't know what Sean Smith was doing on that play. He was just kind of watching. I don't know. He was maybe home for the holidays. I have no idea. This game should have been over in the first quarter. Unfortunately, it took a fake punt in the third quarter for them to actually get back in the football game. 17-10, they got back into it.
I fought the Raiders because both teams are desperate, so you have to be on your guard for anything. What does the Cowboys have to lose? They can ill afford to lose this game.
No.
So you pull out all the stops.
You do.
I fought the Raiders. But, Skip, let's be real. The Raiders have not been what we thought they would be this year.
They're not. They're arguably the biggest disappointment in football.
Yeah,
unless it's the Giants. It's somewhere in.
Half a dozen, 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Because I think a lot of people pick both of these teams to be Super Bowl contenders. Some people pick the Giants to be in the Super Bowl. Some people pick the Raiders to be in the Super Bowl. And they're far from that. But, Skip, you know the Raiders are a bad football team. And for the mere fact that the Cowboys struggled the way they did, you can't be encouraged by that.
Yeah. So 5 minutes left in the game. It comes down to a 4th and 1 at Dallas's 39. Dak made it on his second thrust. It was a bad spot. And then Gene Steratore, who's a showman ref, like a celebrity referee, he gets cute and gets clever, and he sticks the folded over card down between the ball and the marker. And it was short. And I don't know, I think he got mixed up. And it was the first break my team has gotten all year long. It has been a not meant to be season until that moment. And Gene Steratore got mixed up and gave them the first down. And I said, thank you, football
That
gods,
was-
because I finally got one break.
And he shouldn't even pull that card out. That card was
Why
nothing
not?
but his wife's recipe for a broccoli casserole.
Was
He
it?
yeah, that's what he pulled
You
out.
don't like broccoli?
I don't. I don't like casserole either.
Oh, okay. I'd eat it if you'd send it to me. I'd eat it. For the holidays? Yeah.
In my section of town, we don't eat casserole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't either, actually, but I eat broccoli
You know.
every night.
I don't eat casserole.
No.
But
You know, broccoli.
I do like broccoli, though.
Not casserole.
Broccoli is nature's most perfect
I
food.
don't care nothing about
You
nature.
got to eat it. You
Eggs.
gotta
I
eat
like
it.
eggs.
You got to watch the Spurs. You got to eat broccoli, and you got to buy into the Cowboy team that if it gets
The
in the
Spurs
playoffs,
lost to the Rockets.
yeah, well, so Kawhi didn't play.
Yes, he did.
Tony Parker didn't
Yes,
play.
he did.
Oh, you mean in the?
Yeah, he
and then
played.
what happened when Dallas visited and Kawhi didn't play and Tony Parker didn't play and Danny Green didn't play?
The
What happened?
Mavericks.
What
The
happened?
Mavericks.
Manu Ginobili went Tom Brady. Did you see that? He
Skip,
had his second
the
walk-off
Mavericks.
shot.
The
You know,
Mavericks.
LeBron should watch Manu Ginobili.
For what? He
Just to
busy.
figure out how to hit
he having,
shots.
He having tea and
Walk-off
coffee
shot.
every other night
So
with
back to
triple
the
double.
Dallas Cowboys. Now Zeke comes back. I don't know. They lost Tyron Smith last night to a sprained knee. I don't know. David Irving didn't go. Skandrick didn't go. And Bryce Butler didn't go. If this team gets healthy and squeezes through the
We ain't
back
do this.
door of the playoffs, you are in such trouble. This would
know.
be the team nobody in the NFC would want to play in the
Because
playoffs.
unfortunately, the Atlanta Falcons on the tiebreaker. All three teams in the NFC West will make the playoffs.
Stranger things
I mean,
have
the
happened.
NFC South.
Yep.
Sorry, NFC South.
Stranger things have happened.
Nope.
Here we go. We got a whole lot of football left, but
You got 2 weeks.
I told you Dallas is going to win out. Dallas will beat
You
Seattle
think you
with
get Dak,
Zeke.
You think you get Dak come on the show?
Get Dak to come on the show.
Yeah.
Why? He's
Because
going
he'll be here.
to be busy.
I mean, he'll be out of the playoffs, so maybe
No,
he can
no,
break
he's gonna
down,
be
what
busy.
happened.
No.
And he can tell you that Wentz is a better player than him.
Oh, I think he wouldn't come on the show because he would have to sit next to you, the hater that you are.
You know, me and Dak got a picture together. Skip, I dapped him up. I was on the
and then-
bus.
yeah, and it was all baloney.
No!
Phony baloney.
Skip, you know
Yeah,
I love Dak.
You sucked up to him when you were around him. but-
Oh, I love Dak.
Huh? Am I right?
But I like, me and Braun, we like Carson.
You afraid of the Cowboys?
Me and Braun
you
like
and LeBron
Carson.
like
You
Carson.
know me and Braun like Carson Wentz.
You
Skip.
afraid?
Afraid of what?
21's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm happy
Well, you
for him.
told me they're nothing without 21. Now he's back.
I mean, 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, averaging 191 yards a game.
Didn't
Say
you
that
already
nothing.
bet me a case of dew that
I
Seattle
know.
would win? You
No.
did.
No.
All right? You did.
I didn't realize.
Seattle just lost at home 42 to
okay.
7.
Skip.
You bet
Okay,
me a
what-
case
what
of
is it?
dew.
What-
Did you see what happened yesterday?
42 to 7 happened.
Yeah.
So are you going to rescind your bet? You're going to Welsh?
Pete Carroll need Nicorette or some different type of gum, a Xanax or something, Joy, because that's what he was chewing yesterday.
I think somebody just Welched.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Is
scored
that what
again.
you're doing? Are
Well-
you really going to do that?
Welched.
Yeah, I'm welching.
Welch
Call
is
me
grape
grape
juice.
juice because I'm Welch.
Oh, that's what you are.
Aaron Rodgers made his highly anticipated return to the Packers lineup yesterday after missing the last 2 months with a broken collarbone. But it did not go as planned. He threw 3 interceptions for the first time since 2009, and the Packers lost 31-24 to Carolina. Rodgers had a chance to tie the game with under 2 minutes left, but Geronimo Allison fumbled, and the Panthers recovered to seal the win. Let's take a listen to Rodgers on his return.
It's not the fairy tale that we were hoping. As I lay in that surgery bed 8 weeks ago, thinking about this moment, obviously saw it going a little differently. But I'm proud of our guys for the way they played the last few weeks. Today, disappointed. I didn't play very well. Obviously, I hold myself to a high standard. Expected to play well. It's good defense, but I made too many mistakes, and even still, we had a chance there at the end to come back and tie it.
We're joined by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Welcome, Greg.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greg, how much is Rodgers to blame for the loss?
He's just as much to blame as everybody else that was on the field. I think he said it himself. I made too many mistakes. Bottom line, there's no reason for me to take a mallet and continue to hit him over top of the head. That hurts more than anything. His inability to make the throws that he even believed that he could make. He was in a position yesterday to do something special for the Green Bay Packers.
Right.
He didn't play to his standards. Forget everyone else's, because I thought he wasn't going to be as rusty as he was. He obviously thought that he would be able to step right back in and make the ridiculous throws that we have often seen him make successfully. And it's just too great of a league. This game is too hard to just sit along the sideline, not throw, not get the game speed, not get the reps, and to step back in and to make that type of an impact. what we saw yesterday with Aaron Rodgers was a splash of how great he is and a splash of, oh my goodness, I'm shocked at what I'm seeing. And it shocked us all because one interception, okay. 2 interceptions, man, he's rusty. 3 interceptions in one game with Aaron Rodgers? You see that stat line, you're like, there's something had to happen. He had to have gotten hit. He had to be pressured, something. It was just the fact that he was trying to make the throws that he would have made had he still been playing without having ever suffered an injury. And he couldn't do it. It was evident. He alluded to it. He is just as much to blame. I think it's disappointing because I was hopeful, but that Carolina defense deserves a lot of credit because they made a lot of plays that Aaron Rodgers failed to make, and they made him pay for being out and stepping in and thinking that, you know what, you're going to have this fantasy ending, not on my watch, says the Carolina Panthers.
You blame Aaron Rodgers if you believe Brett Hundley could have done a better job. Do you believe Brett Hundley could have beat this Carolina defense? Absolutely not. They would not even been close. And considering that Carolina possessed the ball for over 7 more minutes than what Green Bay had it, it just goes to show you. When you come back, when you play as great as Aaron Rodgers have, and you take that lull in the season, and everybody's like, well, look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady came after a 4-week layoff against Cleveland. This dude came back against one of the top defenses in the NFL. Luke Kuechly is a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's already won one. Julius Peppers.
And Tom Brady was healthy.
Yeah, and you know what they represent. So, and he made some throws. He showed you coming back just how special he is. To throw 3 interceptions, they only gave up 7 points off those interceptions, but the defense did give up 31 points. I don't know what Dom Capers was thinking on that first drive. Did he not realize number 22, Christian McCaffrey, played for the Panthers? They're going to give it to him, throw it to him, find different ways to give him the ball. Dom, okay.
Wait, the same Christian McCaffrey who botched the onside that gave Geronimo the chance to. I just want to make sure we were talking about the same guy.
Yeah, I mean, it happens.
Right.
It's not. Okay. Oh, ask Greg. Tell him about that onside is not as easy as people make it think.
That is one of the hardest things to field
You've been on the onside.
Yeah, buddy.
I've been there too.
You're thinking about that hit that's coming. You're thinking about a lot of things.
Ball,
that ball.
him. Somebody get that ball. Let me get blocked. Skip, he was rusty. He looked rusty. He looked like a guy that's coming off an injury that's missed 7 weeks of time playing NFL football. But moving forward, I'm going to be interested to see how he looks this week against an even better defense in Minnesota.
Well, he may just shut it down this week. I don't know.
That ain't Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know. Well, it's over, man. That was it. You got your one shot. Came up small.
Well, stop.
So it's it's really good to have Aaron Rodgers back because once again he's getting more passes than he throws, mostly from you two. And by the way, you just got your Hall of Fame candidacy rescinded with that answer about Aaron Rodgers, but that's okay. So here's the point. I have to sit here week after week after week from hearing from this man, greatest thrower of the football ever. So I have to raise my bar for even Aaron Rodgers coming off shoulder surgery and say, well, he is the greatest thrower of the football ever. So I'm going to give him the first half. You got to shake the rust off. The first interception was very uncharacteristic of him. It was just a bad idea, bad throw, bad interception. Now we go to the third quarter. Panthers had just driven to take the lead, and it's 17-14. 10:58 left in the third quarter. 2nd and 9 from your 26. Your little man, Randall Cobb, breaks behind somebody named Colin Jones, a backup safety who's getting to play more and more for them. He's been around for 7 years. He's a decent player. But Randall Cobb has a step. And Aaron Rodgers, maybe because he's underconfident right now, dramatically underthrew him, and one Colin Jones picked it off. Because the pass looked more intended for Colin Jones than for little Randall Cobb, he's gone, man. This is looking like 6. All you got to do is just get the ball about a yard, maybe 2 yards farther, and he's gone. There's nobody back there, and it's going to be a big play in this game. And that leads to Panthers going right down 24-14. They take the lead. You get the ball back, and now you're 3rd and 10 at your 25, and your man, Jordy Nelson, with whom you've got rapport and wavelength a la your rapport that you had with Aaron Rodgers, he gets a big step on James Bradbury. And Aaron, maybe underconfident, underthrew it again and threw it more to James Bradbury than to Jordy Nelson. Well, those are just two really shockingly poor throws by Aaron Rodgers that are game breakers. You're back in the game. You know, either one of those throws, and you got back in the game anyway.
They're poor throws. They had nothing to do with his confidence.
No.
The one thing I know about Aaron
What
Rodgers.
did he say last week? I'm not here to save this team. I wanted him to say, we're going to run the table.
Okay, well, let me ask you a question. What about those two picks Brady threw on Monday night? Was he
Well,
underconfident?
I thought we're talking about Aaron Rodgers.
No, I'm
here.
just asking, was he underconfident?
He's the greatest thrower of the football ever.
Tom
Tom Brady's just some guy in New England.
He won
some 40-year-old.
He won 5 Super Bowls, so he should never throw a pick.
Oh, well, this was the big game.
Oh,
This
okay.
is your push.
Okay.
Did the Patriots have to win that game on Monday night?
No.
Are they back in the driver's seat in the AFC? Yes.
All I'm saying is that he missed some throws that he normally makes. But to say it was a confident-based interception, I
I'm
don't
just
believe
saying,
that.
I was shocked at what he said last week because he tried to undercut the expectations by saying, I'm not here to save
When you
this."
have one of those guys, we already know what the expectation is. It's Super Bowl.
That's why I wasn't shocked at what he said. He's the master of just, I want you to look over here. I'm really thinking this. I'm gonna say this, but
He said last year, we're going to run the table.
Exactly.
Is that distracting? That's like
it's
whammo.
It's not distracting. It's what the reality was.
Okay.
And he understands this was what the reality was this week as well.
How about RELAX?
No,
right? I mean,
but understand this. Those comments came off of him being healthy, knowing what he's expecting to do out there, being in the groove. He was catching on fire. These comments were one of, look, I know I'm superhuman most of the time, but the fact that I'm coming back and putting myself in a position to where I can help my team, that's one thing. And he's not going to say that, but I'm going to say it because I was told as a player, and Shannon, I guarantee you were too, 80% of what you got is better than 100% of most guys.
Okay.
So we need that on the field. So when you ask a player to do that, when you ask a player to put himself in harm's way when he's already not 100%, I can't sit here and say, you're to blame. Come on, man, you got to be better. Does he have to be better? Absolutely. He said that. I don't need to say it anymore.
well, are we saying he wasn't 100%? Because he said he was full scale, go healthy.
There is
right?
no way. There is no way. When you have an ACL injury and you come back after a year of rehab, and guys it takes time to get back to that level of play. You have to get that muscle memory back, that motion going. There is no way he stepped foot on that field and was like, I'm 100%. I'm ready. I'm 100. No. No.
So now he's not Aaron Bleepin Rodgers, or I
No,
don't
he
know.
still
He's still that
is.
guy? Oh.
He still is. My point is,
Hey, you know
I'm not going to add, like I said, take a mallet and just bash him on top of his head when he already understands what he did not do yesterday.
Well, it's amazing because he came back in one game and has half the touchdowns that Dak Prescott had in 6 games.
Oh.
Dak has only thrown 5 touchdowns in 6 games. Aaron came back and got 3 in 1.
But he's the greatest thrower of the football ever.
But you
right?
told- but you-
ever.
you
ever.
told me
he's transcendental.
You told me
Did
Dak
anybody ever
Prescott was
compare?
Brady-esque.
Well, he had every time they've gone head to head, who's had the better QBR?
Who had the-
Dak Prescott? Well, he has.
Who had the better
every
win-loss
time.
total? Joy, what you want? I got these new dubs. Boy,
Yeah.
I got gingerbread. I got the one with the bacon.
Oh, wait a second. My Cowboys visited your restaurant last night. They got that dub. I don't know how, but they got it.
We about to close it
They
up.
got
We're
it.
going to let them get another one next week.
You know
but
what?
then guess what? They go to Philly.
You know, Aaron Rodgers did not get that dub, so they're cooked.
They
They're
come
done,
into
right?
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
You ever been there?
Oh, it's Philadelphia now.
You ever been to Philadelphia?
Oh, you mean Foles Gold?
Philadelphia.
Foles Gold. I think I
MVP,
can't wait for
Nick
the last
Foles.
game. Want to put a case of dew on it right now?
Nick Foles is MVP now.
You know, case of dew on the last game.
All right.
Right here.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, we got it.
Joy,
Done.
thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening to the Undisputed Podcast. I'm Joy Taylor. Join us again the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.